Live from the Motor City, all the way to the Volunteer State. It's time for the Reckless Speculation Podcast, where we recklessly speculate the latest news in the world of sports. From college football to NASCAR, we've got you covered. And don't forget to stick around for the world-famous Bet Your Nuts, where we will give you your best bets to make the most money. Now sit back, grab your favorite drink of choice, and join Robbie Davis, Raj Mehta, Brandon Chain, and Tom Sloan. It's showtime.
Blakecorn gets the ball again. Touchdown. Shifty, shaky. Touchdown.
Gets in.
Touchdown. Blakecorn is phenomenal. On the field, off the field. They get a stop right here. Which they certainly did. The Michigan Wolverines are headed to the national championship.
Ewers takes a shotgun snap. He's back to pass. Pressure coming. Throws the fade.
Yeah! We're going to Houston, baby!
Jackson knocked it away. Elijah Jackson knocks the ball away. The Huskies are...
Here we are.
Well, everyone, welcome to this college football championship preview. We are about 45 minutes shy of kickoff. Supposedly, that's what ESPN tells us. So I haven't got a firm thing of what time kickoff is. Tom, you are the Michigan guy. I have not been in this situation since the late 1990s. The Vols made a championship and the Titans made a Super Bowl back then. Not only do you have Michigan playing tonight, but you have Detroit in a rare playoff game this weekend.
Yep.
So how's your day been? How are you feeling? What walk us through kind of the nerves leading up to this thing?
well, the nerves started last night when they announced that good old Matthew Stafford was going to make his Ford Field return next Sunday night against the Lions. So we'll be there. It'll be a primetime game. So that's when the anxiety started. But, nervous, yes. I think going into this game, I feel a little bit like I did against Alabama. I don't really have too many expectations. I'm not getting myself too caught up. I'm excited that they're in this position. So as the day has gone up, the nerve level has gone up. But just seeing how much this team's gone throughout the year, whether self-imposed or not, that's besides the point. We're here. They've kind of gotten past every obstacle, and they met the match and last week against Alabama. So I think this is a different monster that they're about to face with the Washington Huskies. So I'm nervous. The anxiety is definitely starting to ramp up, but I got a couple cocktails with my name on it that should help ease that a little bit.
I was, like the vibe for listeners that don't know or watching us for the first or second time, I'm in the SEC country, and so the vibe's a little different. Like even seeing it was just kind of weird, even seeing the field today with College Game Day without Georgia or Alabama on there was just different looking, right? And for one, even though I like the SEC, I'm happy for a change. I'm tired of them keep racking up championships. And let's get into currently what I'm looking at. We have, I guess before we get to the gambling aspect of this, if Michigan wins, why?
If Michigan wins, it's because they have a balanced team. Take away last week's debacle special teams wise. I think they're very, very balanced. Underrated defensively. I think as the season went on, that defensive line specifically got stronger, and they kind of imposed their will against Alabama last week. So I think Michigan can win this game, and if so, they do it without mistakes. They go back to what Michigan's known for. Not a lot of penalties and protecting the ball at all costs. So if they win, it's because they took care of the ball and they just had more of a balanced attack.
Flip side of that, if Washington wins, what happened?
They found out a way to get the ball out of Penix's hand fast. I think you could go back to the third quarter last week with Alabama and Milroe. They changed kind of their approach. They seemed to two-step, three-step drop Milroe. The ball is out of his hand, and they had success against Michigan. They kind of took the pass rush out of play. So if Penix can get some quick attacks, loosen up that defense a little bit, I think that's an opportunity where Washington has the advantage, and speed-wise, especially outside on the offensive side with Rome Odunze. I mean, he should have been the Biletnikoff winner this year. But I think speed for speed, they're probably faster. I like the way Michigan can kind of defend against that. So we'll see. But again, it's going to come. This is a trench kind of a game. You got your Joe Moore award-winning offensive line in Washington, who they took from Michigan, who's won it the last 2 years. And now you have a defensive line that is hungry and is not afraid. So I think, we say it time and time again, this game's going to be won in the trenches, even though both teams kind of have the ability to put up some points. I think it's going to be down to those big boys up front. Who's going to be more dominant?
Bigger storyline, like does and I know you're a little biased, but Harbaugh, Michigan winning this thing with all they've gone through this year, it's been well documented. He's had to sit out 6 games. There's scandal, but this team has persevered. And really, you hear like, oh, we're blocking out the noise, but this team appears to have done so. That storyline, winning the championship versus Washington winning it in the last year of the Pac-12, then just this conference, just both going out on top, but then just falling apart at the same time. Like, what do you think's the bigger storyline, the bigger drama?
I think in a year where there wasn't so much noise coming out of Ann Arbor with Harbaugh and Connor Stallions and all that noise, you absolutely would have to look at Washington, Pac-12, no more. I mean, taking the conference out in its last year with the national championship. I mean, that's a great story. But the one thing that everyone's going to talk about is Harbaugh. Is he coming? Is he staying? Is he leaving? Will he leave if they win the national championship? I think the one word that's defined this team this year as noise, and they found a way to kind of block it out. Hence why we're here tonight. So in any other ordinary situation, because Harbaugh's situation is not ordinary, I think the Washington storyline is awesome. So
yeah. So since you brought up Harbaugh, I don't want to spend too much. I want to talk about the game and gambling and all this as we get into it. That's what people are hopefully switching on to us for, is kind of the betting and the inside of the game. Does it matter, win or lose, if on Harbaugh's decision, or do you think it's already made?
I think it's already made. And I said it last week's show. I think he's already got a contract with the Chargers.
Yeah. I think he's going to, and I mean, if that extension was there and he was going to stay, I mean, the extension's on the table. If he was going to stay, he would have signed it.
It's been there for 3 weeks. The added money to it has been there for 3 weeks, and there's been no movement on it. And coach speak will say, I don't want that distracting from the game, from the goal. But the reality is, you say you love the university and you represent it. Unbelievable deal on the table. You sign it. But like I've said before, there's a lot of smoke coming next year if he's back, and I think for his sake, he doesn't want to put the school through that. And that'll ultimately probably be the reason why he leaves.
Because I assume, Michigan, obviously one of the power brands in all of sports, especially in college sports. I assume whatever an NFL team can offer, Michigan can match dollar-wise, contract-wise. So it's not about the money. It's just, I think he wants to just he sees what we own, and everyone sees. The NCAA is stupid.
Yeah.
And
and he made it known. He made it known in media day. The one
He-
thing he wanted to talk about was the billions of dollars that the NCAA makes and that needs to share it with the student athletes. And that'll always be a big problem in the eyes of the NCAA.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I think the Chargers is the preferred destination. Vegas is out there. It's gonna be. I think New England's waiting to see. It's a chess game right now.
Yeah.
Atlanta's out there and seeing who all you want. So these two teams remind me of the typical SEC schools you run into. They're both tough up front, and I've been going. Yeah, they're fast. The edge rushers both have good QB play. Michigan's running back. I think Michigan's going to be. So I've been going back and forth in this game all day long. I think Michigan's going to be able to control the clock, control time of possession, keep Washington's offense off the field, and really dictate time of possession. But then the flip side of that is, God, Washington can strike fast. And, one mistake. We have what I'm looking at is Michigan -5. This has been fluctuating 4.5, 5.5, 5. The over/under is 56. Where are you leaning right now? We are now 30 minutes before kickoff. I haven't made I haven't placed a single bet yet. I don't know. I don't know what I'm hoping you can convince me one way or the other.
I think the key to this game is going to be how much can Michigan control the ground game. If they can put together 9, 10, 11 play drives, 5, 6, 7 minutes drives, I think Michigan's best defense against Michael Penix is keeping him off the field, controlling the game clock, mixing in some big strikes. But I think this is a Blake Corum heavy game. And they showed Mullins last week. Mullins played quite a few snaps, and he was effective there early in the first half. So I think this is a ground game. If Michigan can keep the ball in their possession, I think that is going to be their best way to kind of shut down Washington's defense. And you look on the flip side, Washington's only averaging about 3.5 to 4 yards a carry. Their lead back, who knows what the situation with him is.
Yeah, they were terrible against Texas as far as yards per carry.
Yeah.
And,
so I think in all reality, if this game can be controlled on the ground, and don't forget, JJ's got the ability to make plays with his legs. So I think the more you keep Penix off the field, I think the more it kind of frustrates him and forces him to make some mistakes. And I just think Detroit, a little Freudian slip. I think Michigan's defense is like nothing they've seen this year. Yeah, Texas has a good defense, but their secondaries like Swiss cheese, like my Detroit Lions. But I think Penix is going to be forced to get out of the pocket a lot. So,
of course, has Michigan this year, and they faced tons of adversity off the field, have they faced any adversity? Has any team jumped out on them early?
Well, no, because the stat came out last week that it was the first time all season they were behind in the fourth quarter. I think Maryland gave them a battle. Maryland's offense was pretty strong. So I think that Maryland, even though they're Maryland, I wouldn't, bet a whole lot on them. But they kind of forced their backs against the wall. Michigan had to make some big plays late to kind of pull one out there in Maryland. So,
yeah.
Other than that, Maybe an early Penn State game where it seemed like they were, I don't know. Well, obviously they were playing without Harbaugh where they just got the notice. So I don't think they were fully prepared mentally, but the end of that game was good. So, but as far as a team that has the ability to score and score quick, yeah, Michigan hasn't faced that this year. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, that's my kind of game in the game is if Michigan gets behind, like if they get behind 2 scores, what happens and what does that look like? The other thing that Raj, welcome.
Thank you.
You're not as late as we thought you were. Tom and I were taking bets. We thought you'd show up at like 7:10. But Tom,
I can't even make up shit anymore. I can't say that I'm as excited and clueless about a national championship game as I have been probably since the worst sporting day of my life, the Vince Young game. Although I thought SC was going to roll that game, but this really, any result wouldn't surprise me. Any.
Let's talk about coaching matchups. Obviously, like I think we'll all agree Harbaugh's the better coach, but how much better? Because the Washington coach, I think he won it. Was it Fargo and
Boise State?
Boise State. He coached here at down the road in Ypsilanti at Eastern Michigan. He was the offensive quarterbacks coach. So just 6 years ago.
Yeah. So how close do you think he is to Harbaugh's status? Tom, I'll start with you and then go to Raj.
I think you put Harbaugh and DeBoer aside. I think college football is really built around assistant coaches and the ability to have the right coaches that can kind of connect with these kids. And I think that's where probably Michigan has the advantage. You've got some former players that played at Michigan that were successful at Michigan, and you have a lot of other younger type coaches that kind of speak the language. So that seems to really motivate them. So I'm not really familiar with Washington's assistants, but I just know what we've all witnessed this year. 6-0 with assistants running the show at Michigan. So I think that they might have the advantage there.
I guess better question for you, Raj, is who feels the most pressure? Because I think Washington coaches playing with house money. Harbaugh is too. They're both going to be fine. But the premise of our conversation is Harbaugh's gone after this game.
Yep.
So who do you think's playing with more pressure tonight, or coaching with more pressure?
I mean, DeBoer is 2 years in, a transfer portal master. I think this is just the beginning for Washington. Sadly, as a Pac-12 guy, they've kind of always developed talent. Strong cultural leans, like SC in Oregon, a big Polynesian community. They've always had, like this year, Braylon Trice on, a first-round pick on one end side of the football. I can't remember his name. The guard on the other side, I can't remember. I'm just like, I never get flustered, but it's. I think Washington is overachieving, and it's because that line has kept Michael Penix healthy, and keeping Michael Penix healthy means those receivers get the football.
Yep.
Now, that's Washington in a nutshell. I don't think there's anything else to this game for Washington. You give Penix time, and they'll cover or win. You don't, they're going to get housed. And so that's kind of the way it goes for Harbaugh. There's always pressure on him. I mean, he's a lightning rod, no matter where he goes. I mean, if you rock khakis and Keds, you're going to get fucking spotlight on you no matter what in 2023. Plus, if you're like perpetually grumpy cat. But let's be real, dude. He's an amazing football coach.
Yeah.
He is a master of personalities, of grooming people, coaches, students, kids, everything. That didn't sound right. You know what I mean?
Grooming.
This is not Penn State
We're not grooming kids here.
Allegedly, we gotta throw out the alleged.
But the flip side is I don't think Harbaugh feels pressure, or at least it doesn't look like he does. What up, Rich?
Rich Jasper has entered the speakeasy.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
Rich, hey, Rich, what's your prediction for tonight?
What do you think?
You already know, baby.
Are you going to cover?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And what about the over/under?
Over.
Oh, it's 56.
Oh, under.
Okay.
I think I told you guys the over was 7-2 out of the last 9, but the last 9 have not had Michigan's offensive and defensive lines.
Yeah.
I think we saw that against Bama. You know, they're bigger than most NFL lines, but they were slow as hell. And Michigan is as cohesive as a unit on both sides of the ball as I've seen.
And to me, I look at pressure. I think the pressure game for Harbaugh was last week, and they met the match, and he kind of got over that hump. So, I mean, in the eyes of a lot of us Michigan fans, it was disappointment for the last 2 years prior to last week. So I really do feel like getting over that hump will make this game maybe a little bit less pressure filled for him, because he's won a CFP game. So we'll see.
Could it be a letdown game though? When I watch, Michigan walking out, they're walking out like, we're Big Ten, we're Michigan, we're badasses. I mean, these are still 18-year-olds, man, and kids read the headlines, and Washington knows they're expected to lose. Could this be? I mean, after you beat Bama, it's kind of hard to get up for someone else, let alone in a week.
Yep.
Please tell me Michigan has on yellow pants.
No, they're all blues.
They're going all blues.
Okay. All right. That's so stupid. All right, I'm picking Washington. I'm going for Washington. Do not mess up that. Do not mess up that uniform. I guess I should say maize, not yellow. But
yeah, we don't say yellow around here.
Maize.
Washington going with the gold or the purple pants. My TV's cut off right now.
I can only see the white tops.
I hope it's the gold. Oh, the whites.
All whites. All right. So this is why you guys aren't allowed in these big games. You don't dress properly. You're making a mockery out of this evening.
Hey, we're new to this.
Yes.
First time. It's like showing up for prom in an all white tux. Like, don't do that.
Or showing up to the Reckless Speculation show with a cowboy hat on. All right.
Hey, it's in Houston, man.
Everybody agrees. Everybody agrees. That was my one reference for you, Rob. I heard that Taylor Swift song. She's hot.
Oh yeah.
No, I was going to ask you, Rob. This is the last year of the BCS. What comes to your mind when whatever the playoff, that there's no SEC teams? What does that say? I mean, what isn't that the weirdest thing? I mean, it's pretty much been owned by SEC participation, but
well, I was saying before you jumped on, even when they showed the screen, it's like seeing those two teams' names on the end zones was just weird. Like not seeing Georgia or Alabama, Clemson. Clemson's not in the SEC, obviously, but just this Southern dominance of this CFP, and then now to see. One, I think it's good for the sport that Michigan's a huge brand, so they're going to draw, get the West Coast involved because the South's going to watch anyways. I expect huge numbers tonight, really, because this is going to be the first time you have a ton of Michigan grads in New York, that part of the country, and then we have West Coast. I think the number is going to be gigantic tonight.
And like you said earlier, it's the end of the Pac-12, and you have a Pac-12 team representing. So I think
should be in the Rose Bowl.
I think every Pac-12 fan is going to be tuning in and probably pulling for Washington. So with the exception of maybe Washington State.
And like I said last week, no big event should be in Houston. It's a terrible city.
How can it not be in the Rose Bowl? Like you said, I mean,
they had that conversation
I saw Leroy Horde run over us in 1989 and Percy Snow, Michigan State, 88, the Buckeyes in 83 and 84, UCLA, Iowa, 85, Eric Ball, Big Ten, Pac-12, man.
Yeah.
Us smoking Penn State and Michigan a few times with Sanchez and Leinert. And what is this? It doesn't look right on this.
Don't forget about that Texas USC game. Speaking of Texas. All right.
Shut me up. That's the one thing that works.
All right, guys. I got to get out of here. I have my own bet stuff to make, and I've got to fund my account and get rich tonight. So
Can you give me some props? My work computer is they shut down TikTok because it's a Chinese company on my phone and all that stuff. So I can't get props right now. I want to know what a Dunze, McMillan, Polk, and then the Washington
defense. Do you
defense.
have it pulled up, Tom?
I only have my laptop with me out here. I don't have another screen.
Oh, guys, we speculate on betting. My company is racist. Just kidding.
We are live. We are live, ladies and gentlemen.
I never said what company I work for. But no, I got Mike.
Wait, your boss doesn't watch this podcast?
Fucking hope not.
But
I need some. I think a Dunze was like over. I mean, that's where the prop bets are where it's at. And I wanted to know what the Michigan over under for their defensive points are allowed. Any other props that we can get? Rich back there, can you make yourself useful and not just look good and find out some props for us quickly?
I'm not much of a prop better, so I don't have it full. Let's see.
Dude, props are always, especially Super Bowl receptions, yards. That's where it's at, bro. Especially McMillan.
Yeah,
and how is Michigan going to line up, you two, against your best, arguably, who's your best cover corner? We know who your best DB is, your most impactful, but
Will Johnson might be the best cover corner in the country. So
your nickel corner?
Well,
but I mean, he's short. He's going to line up one-on-one. You also got an ACC crew that I just heard that calls a lot of pass interference versus other conferences. If you got one-on-one with a short, you're talking about Sandstrill, right?
No. Will Johnson.
Will Johnson. Never mind. My bad. Yeah, Will Johnson is first-round pick.
Before we may not be able to get to that, but let's talk about just the straight-up bets. So we've got Michigan minus 5.5. Is
that where it's at right now?
Yep.
What do you,
so it's gone
Raj,
up
who you got? Michigan minus 5.5. Yeah.
I mean, my heart, if I'm betting with my heart, we know it's going Washington, but Michigan is just too strong. I go Michigan. I think, personally, Penix has to have time, and I think they'll get off some early wide receiver screens and whatnot, and then Michigan will figure it out, and they'll start teeing off like they did on Bama, and Michael Penix is made of glass, and I don't think he finishes the game.
Ooh, that's a reckless speculation right there.
That's the name of the month.
I have injury concern also. I feel like this game's going to get determined by injury. As of 7:15 on Monday, I am going Washington with the points.
Okay.
I have no feel for this game, so I'm going to take the points.
I may do the same and go small, just because it would be more fun. But I'm looking at some props. Some have Penix over 291.5. BetMGM 297.5. Touchdowns under 1.5, over 1.5 for Penix. So it doesn't look like they're basically thinking Washington's going to be behind. They're not going to be able to run the ball, and Homeboy's going to have to throw 80 times, which is kind of the way most of us figure this game is going to go.
Well, we lost Robbie. Is he back? He disappeared there.
I don't know. Did he have like a buckaroo to fucking robe or something.
Yeah, he had to go buck some Broncos. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
Tom, sorry I missed that. Who are you taking? Obviously Michigan.
I was waiting for your return. No, I think, like I said earlier, I think this is a ground game, and they didn't look good really throwing the ball until that last drive. So I think Michigan cleans up a lot of the mistakes they made last week, specifically special teams. I don't see that happening again. I like Michigan. I think this could be a 10-point game. It's going to come out. I agree with Raj. I think Washington comes out with some fire and motivation, but there's going to be some adjustments made, and I just kind of like the cohesiveness of Michigan's offense and defense. So I think this game could be a shootout. It's 56. Oh man,
It's a lot, dude.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm gonna go Michigan covers, and I'll take the under.
BetMGM sucks.
Under Raj, quick.
One prop I love is JJ McCarthy over 198.5. I think they've held him back all year.
Get over under first. Get over under first. Raj, who you like over under?
The over 7-2 the last 9. It's because there's only 1 week to prepare. I'll take the over, even though I contradicted myself.
Very good.
I like the over also. Michigan to win by 7 to 12 points is plus 425. So Tom, if you like it, a 10-point game, that's a good one to hop on. Corum first touchdown plus 260. Someone's I'm looking. All right, Raj, tell me about your prop bet.
I love McCarthy over 198.5 on DraftKings. I think, like I said, people don't understand what he can do, and they need to go back and look at his career. This is a guy that can sling it, and it doesn't make mistakes. 4 picks, the last 2 years, each year, if that. If he wants to throw, he'll throw. And I think they've been very vanilla all year because they could. And, Big Ten wasn't a strong conference overall. And, if anybody's saving something for tonight, it's Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Going out with a bang.
I really think so.
All right, boys. Good pregame. I've got to get to my gambling account and get rolling. But yes, I'm sure we'll be on text. And Tom, best of luck to you. I would go for Michigan if they had the maize and blue, but they don't. So I'm going for Washington. And yeah, I guess are we at a show on Wednesday?
We'll do a show probably Thursday. We'll do it Thursday.
Okay,
Wednesday or Thursday.
So
We'll
for
convene.
everyone, I guess it depends on this outcome. Tom may be in
it might
the
be
booze cabinet for
little
a
down
few
in the
days.
dumps.
Yeah.
Roman Wilson over 44.5 yards. That's easy money, bro.
Yep, take it.
Easy money.
Take it.
I got to find this stupid BetMGM, my bookie. Everything sucks. Dong. Oops, sorry. Yeah, we better go. I got to get some bets in.
All right, fellas. We'll see you.
All
Thanks
right.
for watching, everybody.
See you guys.
Good luck. Hey, Rich, make sure to post Tom, premenstrual Tom freaking out back there. That's some classic. I got on Facebook for the first time.
How many people are expected in the Speakeasy?
6 months, and I was cracking up, dude.
They should be rolling in here shortly.
A few people coming over. All right,
Well,
sounds good. Enjoy,
minutes,
guys.
dude.
See ya.
Dude. Good luck.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Reckless Speculation. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube searching Reckless Speculation. Catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We look forward to catching you right here next week with another exciting episode of Reckless Speculation. Cheers.